how do you go from being a 12-week challenge type mentality, even your clients and customers? You must have people coming to you that want to be better forever and they're looking at this disciplined route. How do you coach people through that? Because it's not just, like you said, it's not just sleep, it's not just diet, your gut, your alcohol. But socializing is also very important for your health and wellness. So you've got to make sure you do socialize and don't just become a gym hermit. But how do you balance your clients through that? And where do you see Endeavour going on that journey?
Yeah, that's a great question, because some people will want a short-term quick fix, and typically those are the people which will get quick fixes and then quick rebounds. Typically, if you can think more long-term, then you'll have a much more safe and sustainable long-term journey. But how do you do it is by kind of, as a coach, stepping back a little bit. So like the evolution of me as a PT and as a coach, starting off was just performance, right? I'm just looking at physical performance. And then like over time, that has expanded further and further. And I've actually been taking more and more of a step back from just performance as a physical element and looking at these other areas. And so now the approach is, when I start working with someone, or when we start working with someone, we look at as much of their life as we can, and we can think to them, right, based on what your goal is and what your lifestyle is like right now, what is the first thing that's going to make the biggest difference to you getting closer to that goal? For some people, it might not be anything to do with health. It might not have anything to do with their training. They might already be training a couple of times a week. And so, cool, we don't need to change that. It might not be really anything to do with the nutrition. It might be to do with their sleep. We go, right, well, the problem you're facing is that you make poor decisions with food at night. How can we improve that? Well, first thing is get a good night's sleep. If you get a good night's sleep, you're more likely to eat better. You're more likely to make better decisions around food. If you go to bed earlier, you're less likely to eat junk foods at night as well. Because when was the last time you woke up and had a tub of ice cream? Like you don't eat ice cream for breakfast. Yeah. You eat ice cream at night when you're watching a movie.
It's only because they say not to. I mean, I would if I could.
So it's really like now taking a step back. And I recently kind of concentrated my coaching methodology into the Endeavour Life formula and looking at these 5 key areas of health and performance. And part of it's training, part of it's nutrition, but part of it's mindset, part of it is habits, and part of it's recovery. And now, much more than ever, the important thing for people is that if you want to be a healthier human, health is not just going to the gym. Health is not just eating salads instead of having a burger. Like, health is more multifactorial. And so if you want to be an elite performer in your career, in your sport, in your life, if you want to be a high-functioning, high achiever, then it makes sense to have your health sorted out and focusing on the things which make the biggest difference. That's what the problem, and this is a big problem with social media, and it honestly bugs me so much. People make statements on social media which will attribute a value of 100% to a thing that really has an impact of maybe 5%. And so people watching Instagram, watching TikTok might think that CBD oil is going to be the game-changing health revolution that they really, really must have in their life. Whereas the truth is, it just isn't going to make that much difference.
Yeah.
That's the problem that a lot of people are having in their health and fitness journey. They attribute far too much weight to something that has far too little impact. Whereas if you look at it from a big picture, you go, right, well, are you sleeping 7 to 9 hours a night? Are you generally eating a healthy diet? Are you generally exercising a couple of times a week? If you're doing that stuff, that is the baseline. Don't worry about anything else unless you're doing these basic fundamental things. Once you're doing that, then you can start looking at more nuanced stuff, right? But it's kind of that simple, but it's being made to appear very complicated.